Hello, welcome to Brock College. I think you can use the chat function. It'd be really helpful if somebody could say whether they could see me and hear me, just to double check before I get going talking about performing arts and music. That would be most helpful. I'm sure it's all fine. That's great. Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much. And one last thing, you can see my screen that says Performing Arts and Music. You can see my PowerPoint. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. So if there are any questions, I think because once I get going on the PowerPoint, I can't see the chat, so I'll answer them at the end. So if you think of anything that you'd like to ask me, just stick it in the chat and I'll get through it at the end. So so I'm going to talk to you about performing arts and music at Brock College, the vocational courses that your son or daughter has started on. My name is Tara Gadd and I'm head of curriculum for that area. So they should be on one of these courses, the extended diploma in music, extended diploma in performing arts, or the level 2 diploma in light, sound and stage. So what I thought I would do is just go through each bit and then talk about study skills, talk about the opportunities they've got in the department to get involved, and hopefully you'll get a bit of a full picture. So the extended diploma in performing arts, they do these four big modules over the 2 years. So it's a 2-year program, and they look at performance styles, performing to an audience, performing industry, collaborative performing project, and all the units are practically based and with a written element. There's no external written exam though, but the things are formally assessed over the 2 years. I'll talk a little bit about how to be successful on that in a moment. And it's a very similar picture with the music extended diploma, the 4 units over the 2 years, and they look at music skills development, the music industry, they create a personal music profile, and they get together on a collaborative music project. And then we've got our level 2 sound, light and stage. They might be on that course, which is a 1-year program. Again, very practical course. There's written elements alongside it, and they are looking at the technical wizardry behind theatre and music, but also can take a acting or a musical pathway alongside that. So they can do a bit of both in front of the on the stage, behind the scenes, and on stage as well. So yeah, it's really important that our students plan their time. So being organised is absolutely key. And I'm imagining Polly or Kev has just mentioned Teams to you. So we use Teams, which is the platform we're on here. So the students will receive in the next couple of weeks a handbook or a plan for the year on their course, and they'll be directed to Teams where all the resources and course information will be found. It's a web-based thing, so they should be able to access that easily from home. We also have assignment sheets with dates and all their activities on there, and they will gradually be drip fed into each course team as we go over the year. So because they're vocational courses, the units are spread equally across the year, and the students will be guided through using workbooks, study guides, or the practical activities to work through their 2 years. But they do need to be organised, and this is a really important thing. So make sure they have a diary or a planner. Some of the students use their phones, which is absolutely fine. And then write in all their assessments and hand-in dates, because if work is handed in late, it can't be marked. And so the deadline is a bit like an exam. If you miss an exam, you miss the deadline. There are some extenuating circumstances there, but the staff will talk to your students, your kids about that. But just making sure you hit those deadlines is absolutely important. And then the other thing they can do, because they're on a practical course, is practice and rehearse. We've got lots of practice rooms, big and small, for students to rehearse and improve on their own. Independent study time is crucial. So yeah, just study habits really, like they would have looked at GCSE, but keeping an organised file. For some courses, particularly music, we actually do it all online. So everything all is stored online, but keeping those in nice, neat folders online is great. Listening to music and watching theatre outside of the class is another good study habit. And using those resources on Teams to extend their reading and their listening, and just experiment really with learning different ways of learning music, learning lines, learning choreography. So it's just pushing and pushing the whole time in their independent skills. And then for this one, study habit number 2, to understand the learning, understand why something's happening. So read the whole play in a performing arts piece, even if you're only studying one particular extract. Research the practitioners that you're researching in dance, drama and music to help you understand the context. And learning all these in the new vocabulary, particularly music, music technology and technical theatre. Quite a lot probably will be new to our students. And then going even further, when you get to whether you've finished your assignment, it's checking it before the submission. Look at the assignment brief, making sure you've completed absolutely everything. You have to complete all the tasks on the assignment brief. You can't miss one out because that'll be part of the marking criteria. And spell check, get somebody else, get them to ask you to read it possibly as well before they hand it in. And also ensure that the work is correctly referenced and it's in your own words. Plagiarism is you can't put anything in which is plagiarized or copied from another source. And of course, these days when we take things from the internet, it's very easy to find out where students have got their information from. So writing in their own words in the context is really important, particularly on these big pieces of coursework that we do on these courses. Peer review the work prior to submission. So working with a buddy in your class to show what you're doing is also a really great way to get extra feedback. And it's always acting upon the formative feedback that we give our students as well. So if we suggest a new way forward or an alternative approach, really looking at that as not as criticism and actually learning from that. And obviously we're marking all the work, so we know what we're expected to look at. And you will have one-to-one time with lecturers as well. That'll be your class lecturers and also with your tutor, which I'll get onto in a bit. So getting ahead with your subject, I know they've only arrived sort of last week, but thinking what's next is really important, having that vision for what comes next. So we get all our level 3 students into work experience in June. So starting to look now for placements is a really good opportunity. It's the week after May half term for a week, trying to get some part-time work or voluntary work or something as a technician or volunteer in a local theatre if this is the industry they would like to work in. And also developing those employability skills on the course. So when there's an option for, to take on a technical role or event organizer, go for it, do that. And a lot of students actually want to put on their own events, do fundraising events, or so we've had a couple that written musicals that they audition students for, produce and then rehearse and then put on. So anything over and above is always a great thing to get on their CV. And within the directed study time on their programme, you can do that as well. And then as for parents, the feedback and reports. So the students will receive 8 reports over the year on how they're doing, and that's on different things. So there'll be either an attitude to learning grade, an assessment grade, a working towards grade, or an actual written report. So you'll get those as we go through the year, and there'll be 8 different ones as well. Because obviously we don't know what the exams are going to look like this time next year. And we're hoping with our BTEC courses, it was like last year, they actually completed the whole course and the work that was marked was their real work. But we don't know in COVID times. So these are really important that we start as we mean to go on. And their target grades, then you'll get those target grades, which have been measured from their GCSE results. But obviously, they're always movable, up and down. So working hard at a new thing is good. So the extra things within performing arts in the academy and enrichment are always good for the students to join and to make new friends as well. There's just a list of different enrichment opportunities. Now, some students have signed up for these already. Some are 6-week courses, some go for a term, some go throughout the year. And just to let you know, we've got auditions for our classical play Romeo and Juliet on Wednesday if they were interested in doing that. But there's just a few of our ones. There's 80, I think, across the college. But these are the ones that our staff look after in music and performing arts. So getting involved, filling up your time is a great way to be successful. So trips and resources. So we hope to go to the theatre and the concert hall this year. Things are opening, as you know, and we'll also get actors and musicians in to work with our students. So do encourage your son or daughter to get involved. You would have received a letter about this. So what we're going to do is asking for a small fee at the beginning of the year that helps to pay for the music studio time, the dance studio. We hopefully getting theatre and dance workshops in. We're going to the theatre to see a play in Oxford if they're doing the drama courses, and music students to go and see the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra. And we've got good links with our local universities. So UCA is the University of the Creative Arts up in Farnham, North Hampshire, and Solent in Southampton. And we'll take the students to those. So this money pays for those things to happen, as well as script scores, resources, etc. Overseas trips, for many years we've gone to New York, and so we are obviously these past 2 years we haven't done that, but you know, we hope to look at 2023, so we take the second years to New York as an optional extra, but a fantastic experience. So we'll watch this space on this one and see if things change and for the better going into 2022 and 23. So our music academy as well. So instrumental lessons, I've also sent out a letter about these. I've got lots of replies. If anybody's still out there that would like instrumental lessons, the deadline is right away. And hopefully by the end of the week, the timetable can be written for all the students who want these individual lessons. It's £300 for the year. They have 25 lessons over the year, half an hour with an individual teacher. As I say, we've got some auditions coming up if they are budding actors. On Wednesday, there's posters up around the college about Romeo and Juliet. If they would like to audition for that, it's at 2:10, and the performances are in December, on the 9th and the 10th of December. And we are also live streaming. So we learnt all those skills last year when we couldn't get an audience in. We live streamed all our big shows. So we're going to continue to do that, but also have in a live audience as well. And then just before Christmas, we're going to be doing a musical, and we're going to be doing that in collaboration with the Nova Forester Classical Players, which are a professional local orchestra, and so we're going to have a conductor and a professional orchestra play alongside the students, and that is in April, that production. So if the students are budding musical theatre performers, they can get involved in that. We start auditioning just before Christmas. So things are happening, and then we put in some evening performances for our extended diploma students. So I've got some dates there that you'll get notification of these as well, but I thought I'd head you up until next June. We've written our events diary for the academic year. So we've got some BTEC music extended diploma performance times that you can come and see, performing arts students in November. We're doing a winter showcase in the local church in Brockenhurst, so it'll be like a winter showcase concert. We've also got a dance show on the 29th of March, and then the final music and performing arts showcases on the 22nd of March and the 23rd of June. This has all been well. We've made a plan, and we hope we're going to be able to stick to the plan. If we can't have audiences in, we'll be streaming these out. That is the other plan. So the students really get a chance to perform, because that's what we've sort of been missing at school. These are the staff contact details. I'm hoping you recognise some of those names, and these staff perhaps have been in contact with you already. Lucy Lush at the bottom there is one of your most important contacts. She's the tutor of all the students that I should be here this evening. So llush@brock.ac.uk, you can see a pattern in our emails there. So I'm Tara Gadd at the top there. Moira Rock is for performing arts, and Brett Neville is for music, and Alexa is for sound, light and stage and enrichment. So that's sort of a little whistle-stop tour about how you can be successful on your courses. Really, over to anybody that's got any questions, you can type them in the box, or you can grab my email there and send me an email if you think of anything. It's never too late to ask any questions. So yes, if anybody's got any questions, I'm just going to go into the chat. The auditions on Wednesday, do they have a script or further information what they have to do? Is it compulsory? Absolutely not. And no, you'll be given they'll do a workshop. They'll be doing a practical workshop with some bits to read probably as well. They'll do something physical as well, but it will all be together in the Kemble Theatre at 2:15. So they don't have to prepare anything in advance, and it is certainly not compulsory, and it is open to all students across the college. It can be anybody that is not studying any of our courses. Are there any other questions that anybody else would like to ask, or go over anything again? As I say, I've got my email address there. Always a question coming in, but my email address is on the screen, tgadd@brock.ac.uk. So if you think of something, please just drop me a line. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. So as I say, if you think of anything, Karen, thank you very much for your questions and coming along. But hopefully your son or daughter has shown you what they've been doing so far. They've all been set some work, they should be working. And it's just getting into that new frame of mind about how to use your directed study time. And some students will have a complete day off college as well, how they use that time well. And it's just learning those study skills, really. But we'll drip feed lots of ideas in as well. But staying organised is absolutely crucial, and staying busy is good. So I have nothing more to say, so that you can leave the meeting now, or I'll just hang here in case anybody else thinks of a question. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you have a very nice evening.